Welcome to this video overview of viewing a data grid. It's important to be able to view, edit, and analyze object data within your organization. The data grid allows users to do just this in a very familiar spreadsheet-style format. Users with permissions to view a data grid, which is currently displayed on the screen, will be able to interact with it in the following ways: resizing, sorting, showing or hiding columns, filtering data by the state, role, formula, relationship, reference, or single select list, wrapping or unwrapping the cell contents, moving forward or backward through the grid's pages or adjusting the number of rows displayed on the single page. And if edit permissions have been added to the user's role and in the data grid settings, users will be able to edit the object's properties, in other words the name and description, or fields, plain text, numeric, date and time, or select list within the individual cells themselves. Something to be aware of is that if you refresh your browser or you navigate away from your data grid after you've made these customizations and you come back, it will have reverted back to its default configurations and you'll have to go back through the process of customizing it. So how do we view a data grid within the software? Let's take a look. Now that I've logged into the system, the next step is for me to navigate to the application where the data grid is saved. I'll do this by going to the nav bar found directly below the logo and choosing the appropriate application. For me, that's Reports. After that, I need to choose the appropriate activity where the data grid is saved. In this case, I'll go to Data Grid. From the Data Grid screen, the next step is to click and anchor our root object from this screen. This will allow us to display the data grid. If a data grid filter has been marked as required by an administrator, the Filters page would be displayed, and you would have to select a value for any filter marked as required. I can edit the property, in other words the name description, or field data, such as plain text, numeric, date and time, or select list, within a column, provided it has not been marked as read-only. How do I do this? I'll click in the cell, and then type in the change, or make the selection from the available options. Here you can see I can make changes from a select list as well. Changes that are made to cells are applied to the associated object and are saved automatically. To adjust the column width, it's as simple as moving your cursor to the top of the column. Here you'll see the double bar icon. Simply click and drag the column to resize it as you need. Need to sort the grid by column? Click the column name at the top of the grid to sort the data alphabetically in ascending order. If I click the column's name again, it will sort the information in descending order. Clicking the column name a third time will remove any sorting. Need to display a specific grid page? You can click on this icon here or over here to move forward or backward. The other thing that you can do, of course, is that you can come into the text box here and type in the number that you wish to view or click on the arrows. Clicking away from the text box will reload the grid. Want to change the number of rows which are displayed? Simply select the option to change the number of rows. Perhaps you want to hide or show columns. The way that you can do this is by clicking on this icon here. If I don't want to see the risk unique ID, I'll put a check mark in that box, and then when I move away you'll see it's gone. It is no longer active, and that is now hidden off my screen as well. You can continue to do so as much as you need. If you don't want to see the information within a cell wrapped, you simply click on the overflow cell and it will look like this. Coming back, you can then resize your column as need be. Want to go back to having your cells wrapped? Come back to the icon and choose Wrap Cells. If you need to filter data which is displayed within a column by a single select list, date, or workflow state, formula range, relationship, or reference, or even role, you can click on. If you need to filter the data which is displayed in a column by a single select list or date, perhaps it's a workflow state or a formula range, relationship, reference, or role, simply click on this particular icon and it will allow you to enable filters below the column headers. Once you have those filters in place, you can begin typing words or select an option. So here I've got a drop-down list and I can select for risk monitoring, for example, and now we're filtering the information just to that. And I can carry on in various ways. If you click this icon again, you will disable or reset any of the filters that you've put in place. If you want to quickly refresh any of the custom display settings you've put on a data grid, simply refresh your browser. We hope you will enjoy viewing and using data grids and have found this video to be useful.